Yeah, I honestly, I've worked with parents who have been neutral the entire time that I've worked with their sons. I've been involved in LDS units, and you know, I've worked with parents. I had one set of parents who their son always went to baseball, and when I sat down and talked to them, they said, well, we think our son's going to go pro. You know, I hid my smile. Right, the kid didn't go pro. You know, I hid my smile, but that was the mindset. Was, well, this kid's going pro. He's going to be a professional. What is it, MLB or whatever it is, right? He's going to be a major league. Oh, that's basketball. Whatever. Anyway, he's going to be a professional baseball player. I'm from England. If it was a soccer team, I'd be down with it. You know, he was going to be a professional baseball player. Why would he waste his practice time coming to scouts?
We have. So,
they maintained that the entire way. Now, they weren't detractors in the sense that they didn't try and get other kids to know, no, you should be a pro baseball player instead. They weren't detractors, but they were thoroughly neutral. Yeah.
Okay, the one reason I chose this class, and this is the biggest question I have, is the majority of the parents I'm dealing with see Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts as a babysitter. You just drop the kid out, they really don't care at all. I've taken a lot of notes about doing detailed calendars and making sure we keep them updated and stuff
But it
like that.
reinforces the babysitter mindset.
Right, but do anybody else deal with that? How do you guys do it?
all the time.
So let's talk about this other piece. We talked about marketing to the son for neutrals. Let's talk about how do we give a neutral a positive experience. Let's take your comment.
I'm just going to say,
Yeah.
that's not a horrible situation. We have the boys, we have their attention.
Yeah.
Let's make it fun and let's help them progress.
Yeah, I think what you do is you work with the boys. Now, this assumes you're running a
They're
good
showing
program.
up. That's like half the battle, right?
Right, yeah, it is. The assumption here is that you're running a good program, because if you work with the neutral to get their son to an activity, and then someone mentioned basketball, and then you play basketball and they go home and say, well, we played basketball, the mom's like, I knew it, he should have just stayed here and done his homework. You know, doing the homework would have been better than going to the, you know, to whatever, the church building or wherever your troop meets, and shooting hoops. So it assumes you're running a good program. But in the interest of time, let's talk about, so let's say we've got these sons of neutrals that are attending, we're running a program, they're doing some things that they're sort of interested in. How could we still haven't really moved the parent from being a neutral into being a supporter. What kinds of things could we do for the parent specifically?
I think especially like in an LDS unit, the role is to support the family.
Yeah.
And I think if you put a parent where you treat them like you're kind of the enemy here, you know, you treat them like you need to be either 100%. I think it pushes them away a little bit. If you were to sit down with the parent and say, how can we support your son who's going to be a Major League Baseball player? How can we support your son? And without, you know, I think just by asking them and letting them tell us how we can best help them,
Yeah.
I think becomes a positive experience for parents. Where they realize, oh, you're here to support me. Because I feel like a lot of parents feel like it's a constant nag or a burden, you know, if they're not supported. I think we have to be careful like our approach.
So specifically, how would we do that? How do you communicate? I mean, are you talking about send an email? Are you talking about go to their house? What, like literally?
Yeah, just get face to face.
Okay.
And just, for example, I was a bishop. I interviewed a kid about seminary, and he was almost in tears. And I remember meeting with his dad, and the dad's like, yeah, we don't want our kids to go to seminary schools, way more important. And I realized, like, you know, it didn't matter my opinion of what I think is more important.
Yeah.
I need to now, okay, I won't pressure your son into seminary. I'm here to support you, Dad. I think that wins him over. I think, you know, like it's whatever they like. He says we kind of view parents as the enemy sometimes.
Okay.
And we got to be in it because we're so passionate. We have such a testimony of this program. And if they're not there, we have to be careful that we're not putting their child in a position where they're serving two masters.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
One thing we've done is give the parent a little assignment. Some people, like if we try to give them calling
Yeah.
and stuff, they're like, no, not call me that. But when we ask them to just bring refreshments or come help out with this one-day meeting or come help out with a specific assignment, they're more willing to do a small bit
Yeah.
versus a big bit.
Yeah. I think this is actually, I think there's two keys for the neutral, and one is this small assignment piece. You know, something like, would you be willing to come in, you're a mechanic, would you be willing to come in just for 5 to 10 minutes and just talk about what mechanics do and what life is like as a mechanic. You know, we're learning about automobile repair, or we're learning about mechanic, machinery or whatever it is. Would you be willing to just come in and chat for 10 minutes and they'll get there a little bit early and they'll see what you're doing, and they'll stay maybe a little bit late and see what you're doing. So the small assignment is a good one. What are some other examples of small assignments? I want to be clear what a small assignment is. If anyone says wood badge, you need to leave. Go
Well,
on.
something that I have done is I will show them what pin we're working on in our Weevilist group.
Yeah.
I'll say, now we're doing all of this in
Yeah.
Den meeting. I need you to do this one part here at home.
Yeah.
Could you go look this up on the internet with your boy? It takes 5 minutes, look it up, read it, and then you're done.
Yeah.
If you could do that with your boy, that would be awesome. And so then it's something small, and they see how much I'm doing
How
with
much
your
you're doing,
boy,
so.
and that I'm only really asking them to do this tiny bit.
I appreciate that comment, because I think
Yeah.
that the NUCA